Hello, YouTube Nation, and welcome back for the untold story of G.I. Joe's Law and Order. Today, we're diving deep into one of G.I. Joe's most underrated duos, the military police officer Law and his loyal K-9 partner, Order. These two aren't just toy shelf fillers, they're one of the most fascinating partnerships in G.I. Joe history. Stick around because I've got some rare facts that even hardcore collectors may not know about. Law's real name, Christopher M. Levine, hailing from Houston, Texas. He served as a military policeman before joining the G.I. Joe team, but let's be honest, the real star is the German Shepherd Partner Order. Together, they're the Joe's Team Ultimate K-9 unit, tackling and infiltrating base security and even sniffing out explosives. Law and Order made their debut in the 1987 toy line. There was the same year that the G.I. Joe animated movie came out where they first appeared on screen. Fun fact, Order is one of the very few animal companions in G.I. Joe who was packaged together with his handler. Think about it. Mutt and Junkyard, Spirit and Freedom, but Law and Order releases was one of the cleanest handler dog duos in figure form. So the figure we're going to look at for this spotlight is Law and Order Christopher Levine, coming in hot here. This is a deluxe-ish action figure coming from G.I. Joe Classifieds. The figure will look good. We're going to take everything out and have a peek-see at it here shortly. Let's take a look at the box. This is number 157. Looks good back here. Just looks an MP with a dog that loves to get dynamite, which is kind of hidden right there, which is cool. Military police officer. For me personally, when he came into the fray, it was when he came into G.I. Joe the movie. That was my first recollection as an adult looking back on it. Thought it was a great addition, and when everything happened in the movie, I thought it was great. So glad to have this G.I. Joe Classified. Glad to have Law. I'm glad to have Order as well. And so let's take this out and let's have a peek-see and see what we're cooking. Out of the packaging, no harm, no foul on it. First thing we have here for Law. Let's take a look at Law first. Very true to the G.I. Joe figure. Very cartoon, not esque, because this is just a real life. If somebody were to hand this over to anybody who didn't know anything about G.I. Joe, this guy would be like a military police officer. I mean, he's a little bit casual for an MP, but that's the make-believe G.I. Joe world of it. Now, on this figure, as always, well, not as always, but we have all the hands in the world for this, and I'm not going to go through putting all the hands on. We're just going to set the hand stack back there. The face mold looks very good. I would love to know who this is by. Like if they sculpted this from a guy who works at Hasbro, or because it doesn't look anything like the cartoon. The cartoon character was a little bit chumpier and fatter in the face, if I can say that. You know, it's kind of what I feel. So that's my take on that. Now, when we get into the K-9 over here, the MP K-9 unit, which is the fantastic, listen, having a dog named Order is pretty cool. Now, we got a little sweet face going there, which is very nice. Oh, look at him, just cute. But then we can also take it off and he is going to eat your face off, which I love. Also love that the gas mask can come on, bomb mask, gas mask, whatever you want to call it. It pops. I'm hoping it pops kind of right on. I guess there we go. Yeah, it goes on. Protect the little puppy's eyes in the shade. He's ready for a solar eclipse. The most articulated dog I've ever played with in my life. I mean, he's got all kinds of points of articulation, which is very good. Looks great. I love dogs, so to have a dog up on the shelf is going to be cool. And I don't necessarily need him to be mean. I kind of like the laid back dog look there for it. So let's put that aside. Let's go to his weapons and all the accessories, because this is like a commando figure all in one, which is really cool. First thing that you've got to have with Law on this is his helmet. The helmet was a staple for the action figure. This one does show signs of wear, which is neat. This helmet goes on, something that military police often wear. I am going to be displaying mine with the white hat because it's a callback to the cartoon and his old action figure, which is very neat. Now, when I said before we just broke right there, when this thing is looking like a commando, remember the scene in Commando where he like broke into the thing with a bulldozer? This is what this has given me a little bit of things with. All kinds of vests and places to go with. So pistol, the first thing, the pistol is going to go right here. And it clicks in as such, just with a little ball. That's nice. That went in very easily. That looks great. He's got an Uzi, which is very detailed and very two-colored, which is awesome. We're going to throw the Uzi on the side holder there, which is awesome. He's got a knife. Let's find out where this knife may go. I don't know where the knife actually is going to go, to be quite honest. Does it maybe go in here like that? Maybe, I don't know that. No, that's where the Billy Club goes. Let's do the Billy Club. So the Billy Club, Big Boss Man style. Also, when I had this guy, Big Boss Man's Hasbro would also get the Billy Club. So my Billy Club for Big Boss Man was probably Law's Billy Club, because I'm sure I lost it in the few seconds that I owned it. This, I am assuming, just goes in here, and it's to fold them as such. Like this. I don't know if that's going to break. It feels like if you do this too hard, it's going to break these, but I don't know. Let's, there's handcuffs. Let's try it. Not sure if that's exactly what they're wanting with it, but maybe just one of them are going in there. And then the knife, I don't know really where the knife goes. That is kind of I get it, but there's not a place to store it. So when he's fully loaded up, I mean, he's commando, he's ready to go. Looks very good, very military accurate, very police accurate, very much looks great. So he's got a hand to where he could hold. Let's go over here to order. Tail wags, legs. I'm only going to talk about this because look, he can have a butt shake. He can have a this. He can have a that. I mean, he's very, very articulated for this. So does have his handling leash. One thing that would be neat to have had with this is a chain that may go, but he will. This is kind of how the dog handler would hold him, is on such like that. Very interesting that this is part of it. That's a very nice ad. And then when he's going after you, the swap of the face. But like I said, that's probably going to go over there. That's going to go over there. And I kind of want to see his purty little face. He's a good boy. I'd put the mask over there. That right there is how my Law and Order will stand on the shelf. Tell me how yours is. I'm not much of a action display guy with them, but I think they're two very good figures, and I think they did a very good job, Hasbro did, with putting these two together. Very good. Let's get into some more of the details of these action figures from comics, cartoons, and other things.
Collectors, you'll love this. That white helmet that's also lost almost all the time. It's really hard to find. It's one of the most expensive accessories to any G.I. Joe, but it's almost irreplaceable for him. There's the rare one too, the 1993 figure called Law Volume 3, but came without order. Disappointed a lot of fans. Marvel comic book G.I. Joe series Law and Order debuted in issue 60. Order actually gets his moment of shine when he helps sniff out Zorana in disguise. In the Sunbow cartoon, they're used mostly as comic relief, but in the Deke series, Law becomes more of a main character, often showing off Order's tactical smarts. Order isn't just a sidekick. He's a legit Joe hero. In several comics, he's actually taken down Cobras himself. One storyline had Order literally saving the team by grabbing grenades before they explode. Talk about a good boy. Order's file card lists his specialty as a drug-sniffing dog, which is pretty bold for an 80s toy kid. Lol's voice in the Deke cartoon is done by Doug Stone, who also voiced characters in Robotech. There's an inside joke amongst collectors that Order is actually the smarter half of the duo since he saved the Joe more times. So, there you have it. The story of Law and Order, one of G.I. Joe's most loyal duos, from the toy shelves to the comics to cartoons. They've proven time and time again that sometimes the best soldier walks on four legs. If you enjoyed his breakdown and want more deep dives into G.I. Joe history, I've got some coming, so stick around, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you soon.